Hello and welcome to World Tanks with me, Jet the Ripper, and this is the winner of the Tier 4 level of the competition that I've been running, the Christmas giveaway. Obviously the Tier 8 should be announced on the 25th, also known as Christmas Day. Now, it's an interesting little game, and I'm going to reiterate something because I had to exclude a number of replays and several tiers. It specifically has to be using the replay system. Yes, the replay system isn't great, but part of the idea what I thought would be good with this is to get people used to it. Now this, ironically, is one of the tanks that I probably could have chosen as a giveaway prize rather than the BTSV. But I think this tank is a bit boring, and the tank is itself on the... it's on sale right now. The BTSV, on the other hand, is a bit rarer, and I think a lot nicer. It's more fun. But this is a hell of a seal clubber, especially when it's top tier like this. This tank is incredibly well armoured. And he does pretty much, I think Mashan, I don't know how you pronounce that, does pretty much everything correct here, and this is why I chose this replay. So, with tanks like this, there is a lot of armor, and the tracks take up a lot as well, and it's always a good thing to remember with these sort of things. Mashman, my mistake. The tracks themselves absorb a lot of damage. And you'll get it with a lot with so the FCM, for example, is another tank you can do that with, where the armor is not very good on it. The side armor is pretty poor, but if you angle it the right way and just expose the tracks, you'll find people hitting the tracks and not doing any actual damage. And he racks up quite a lot of damage in this game quite quick. Obviously, I don't have the end screen, and I don't particularly care about the end screen because it's not really important. It's a good game regardless. Now you'll see here, there's a lot of people spotted. Well, this case 3. I'm being a bit melodramatic. I do apologise. So, there's 3 people spotted. Now there's, 6 people spotted. So, now there's 7 people spotted. So there's a good percent of the team over here. And now he's driving forward, and there's 3 people in front of him. You think, okay, it's not too big a thing. He's got good front armour to think, oh, but here comes a YOLO Blitzen. And he immediately starts firing. He bounces off. Now, he ignores the Blitzen and focuses on the TD in front of him. Now, he's going to use the TD's mistake there to get himself around the TD, and that's the thing you should really focus on doing. He's managed to put a rock between himself and the Blitzen. The Blitzen's now not in a position, and then a M5A1 decides to ram himself to death. So why not? And then another tank rams into him. Because why not? So he's already racked up a fair bit of damage, and now he's been able to switch around to the Blitzen. First shot luckily sets him on fire. Now, he does probably be APCR. I can't blame him on a Blitzen because those things are troll as all hell. I also screw those Christmas lights. Now we've got 4 artillery in this game, which is anything but fun. But so far I don't think he's been hit by any of the artillery. I think they've fired him a few times. But so far we're on 16 damage driven, 3 kills. He's done the right angling sort of thing, and that's sort of why I ended up choosing this sort of thing. He prioritised the target. You know, I see it a lot of the time when people get charged down by 2 or 3 people, and they're in very much a position where they could kill them. But instead of actually, you know, just killing them one at a time, they go, oh god, there's that guy there. Okay, well I'm going to shoot that guy now. No, I'm going to shoot that guy now. And they just switch about, and it's just a bit unnecessary. Oh, that would appear to be artillery firing at him. Again, APCR I would say is unnecessary, but again, it's a BTSV. The tank that this guy has won, which as a tier 3 tank has probably got as much armour as most of the tier 4 tanks in this game. It's a fun little tank. Now there's a DW2 there getting hit by artillery. DW2 now that I would be firing APCR at because those things, although it is side on. Unlucky there to have fired over the top, and you'll see he's angling the right sort of way for this. And not once I don't think you'll see him driving straight at anyone. You'll see he just angles the nose away just that little bit, and just that little bit of angling the nose away tends to cause people to bounce that little bit more often. You'll also be surprised how often there's still a lot of people who, I don't know whether they just auto-aim or their first shot tends to be auto-aim, and that can be the difference so often between living and dying. And so if you drive at someone angled on enough that their auto-aim is going to hit the side of your tank at an auto-bounce angle, well, you've just, you know, saved your life. And if I remember correctly, he gets to kill a couple of scumbags, and everyone loves killing some scumbaggers. It's I think that should be a pastime. Well, screw Christmas, let's have kill a scumbag day. And the scumbag absolutely smashes the Covenanter. He switched back to AP, which is good. I'm glad I honestly hadn't noticed the ammo being used when I looked at the replay. But it still serves the point of the angling very, very nicely. Again, artillery's aiming at him, and now he's not stopping immediately. He's going to get closer, and boom, artillery gets taken out anyway. Now, it's essentially a 3-on-3 in terms of tanks, but they've got 3 artillery to support. 2 of them are light tanks. One's a heavy. This thing is not that fast. It seems worthwhile getting on the cap right now, and that's exactly... I would have personally got on the cap, but it looks like the Blitzens managed to farm one of the artillery. I don't think the other artillery can be actually spotted because they're so far away. Now it proceeds a little bit of sitting on the cap circle, and so I'm going to talk about many things. So, as you've seen throughout the game, he's been angling his armour. This is only a tier 4 tank, but it's really nice to see this done. Obviously, this guy knows what he's doing. I think he's sent in replays at a higher tiers as well, so obviously he's not just a new tier 4 player. Oh, and a Hetzer takes out a Blitzen. How fun. It's quite interesting how few people really bother to angle their armour. There's a guy who you should probably watch him on Twitch if you don't already. This guy called Gira. He's probably he's one of the higher 3 marks. EK Gaming's is probably, I think, still probably has the highest number of 3 marks on console. And if he should stream, he doesn't. I might have to pester him again about that. But Gira, of people who stream, probably has the highest number of 3 marks, which is even more impressive when you consider that it's not a reroll account. He got banned. I guess it's a reroll, or whatever. It's an account. And he goes around in 3 marks, and it's quite OCD, and I love the OCD of it. He only plays X number of games in all his tanks. And I have no idea how he managed to... a lot of the 3 marks he did are at lower tiers, and I can't stand those tiers. I just can't play it. People are so unpredictable, so random. And I find myself sort of forgetting the basics. I could just turn away, and I'd be fine. I would just angle normally, and I would be fine. But for some reason, I don't do it. But here you're going to see... Now this is a fight that other B2, who is firing APCR, should win. Now he's firing AP for the first one, now he's switched to APCR so he can get his pens in. He's rushing him to try and get in. Oh, but he's stopped. Now I think what he probably should have done there is kept going. That way the 2 of them would be going from different angles. And look, at the moment he's straight on, and they're exchanging damage. Now he angles himself a little bit, and they're bouncing off his track now. And it's that little bit of a difference. And now they both do it again, both firing APCR, both bounce off the track. But I'm pretty sure that the other B2 was firing APCR while auto-aimed. Oh, and here we just fast forward a little bit. And is it me? Or does the alarm actually sound slightly nicer in fast forward? It sounds a bit more like an RAF kind of air raid siren. Anyway. But yeah, so you saw the difference between angling that little bit and the fact that, again, I'm pretty sure that was an auto-aim. I think that guy was auto-aiming dead center, and it was just bouncing off his tracks because he angled that little bit. Also, have you seen how fast this tank is? Wow. No, I'm joking. I'm aware it's in fast forward. And you see, he's not on a lot of health, and so he gets to the point in a second where he's going to spot up the light tank in the cap. Oh, would you look at that? It slowed down magically just before it happens. It's a full health Blitzen. And he just pokes just enough. Gun handling on this thing is obviously either very good or the RNG has been absolutely lovely. Blitzen gets annoyed. And he finishes him off, and that is that. So I think we can all agree that was a very nice game for a tier 4. He showed the right things to do. He did the right things at the right time. I think obviously he could have angled earlier against that B2. I think he could have rushed that B2 a little bit better. But other than that, he did the right things. And that's the sort of thing I've been looking for in these sort of replays. You know, there were some games which I can't remember off the top of my head. I just remember when I selected this as a winner. There probably are some games where someone's got more damage, or there's someone who's had a more epic game. But, you know, they've not necessarily done the best things, the right things. They could have, essentially, no offense meant to them, but there might be a bit of luck in it. And that's hopeful. I think I hope that's what people get from my channel, is the ability to learn, you know, okay, this is the right thing to do then, this is the wrong thing to do, blah, 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 blah. That's, you know, hence things like the what did I do right, what did I do wrong, blah, 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 blah. So, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Congratulations to Mashman. And stay tuned for the next few days to the winners of all the other tiers. So, as always, I've been Jack the Ripper, and I'll see you on the battlefield.